Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes. We'll give people a chance to join. Let's see what's. Oh, there we go. That. Hello, hello. Hey, Sandy. We'll give it just a couple minutes. If you have anything like, I'd love to use tubing today, maybe something equivalent to a step or a riser. So we'll just kind of see what everybody has. But you have a few minutes. I just see people popping in. You're not muted yet. So if there's anything you want to say, feel free. You can unmute. You still have the power. We have about 3 minutes. So I'd love to use some equipment today, some tubing. I have a mini ball. I have a riser behind me on my mat. But I'll have options. If none of those things are in your home, don't worry. I'll have all kinds of other ideas. And feel free to use dumbbells as well, especially if you're just not a fan of tubing. And if you feel like being seen, you can start video on your end in that bottom left-hand corner. But no pressure. Just a couple more minutes. Oh, Bethany, are you here? I'm just scrolling over the names. Hopefully you can see me and you can hear me.
I am here.
Oh, yay.
Can you see me?
I cannot see you.
Oh, good.
You are hidden. If you want to be hidden, you're hidden.
No, I don't know what I'm doing, so.
You're on your phone. It's harder. Okay, it's harder on the phone, I think, to figure out because you have to like swipe left and right and all that.
Yes.
So I'm on my laptop, so it's so much easier for me. Everything is way more apparent on a laptop than it is on the tablets or on the phones.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time I'll borrow one of my kids' computers.
Sure. But no pressure. No pressure. Well, it's about start time. So okay, I'm gonna go in here. Or not hear me. Give me just a second. Okay. So if you have available to you some tubing, a mini ball, a riser, great. If not, don't worry about it. If you have any sort of resistance items available to you, please have them, grab them now. And we'll just get started warming up. Just gonna make sure I'm still in the view. Okay, so I just want you to check in. Oh, sorry. My name is Shauna. This is Bar. We're going to be doing strengthening and really focusing on everything that helps us with our posture. So I just want you to check in with your shoulders. And you know, if there's any issues with the tech stuff or anything, please let me know. You can communicate to me via chat. And we've upped our security because of everything going on in the world. So hopefully my screen will say what we expect and no surprises. All right, so welcome everybody. I see more people joining and we're just checking in. You can start to increase the range of motion for your arms, both directions, and only taking it the size and at the pace that works for your body. Check in with neck movement. How is your shoulder alignment? Is it positively, like does it allow for easy movement in the neck? Exhale. Let's go ahead and lift a leg. Feel free to use your, whatever you're using, whether it's your countertop or a chair or a table, and I'm just lifting a knee and circling in an ankle, and I'm wearing my sticky socks. You're welcome to wear tennis shoes. I'm just gonna take my knee out, whoop, and across the midline, and out. Few more times. Again, at your right pace, your best depth, right, for your body. How are your hips, knees, and ankles doing these days? How's your spine, neck, and shoulders? So we're hoping that everything that we do today is just gonna support space, support strength. In between sides, feel free to come into a forward fold. Lengthen through your spine, maybe coming right into just a few push-ups, but thinking of these as just kind of check-ins. So you can see how your shoulders feel. One more. And send the hips back. And then carefully returning to upright, let's lift the other leg. And again, I'm gonna circle in the ankle. So even as you're lifting a leg and maybe holding it up, keep your chest lifted. Go both directions with your circle. Make sure you're not locking your standing leg. And then I'm gonna go out to the side and across my midline. Breathe and breathe. This side's a little trickier for me just because I don't have the assist with the balance. Good. 2 or 3 more. Welcome, welcome everyone who's coming in. Good, last 1 or 2. So just make sure that you get even. Okay, so if class already started as you came in, make sure that you're warming up your hips, knees, and ankles, your shoulders, your neck. Again, coming into a forward fold or just something that feels onto the counter and come into a squat, sending the hips back, bending the knees, lifting and lowering the heels here. Always just come back to reviewing your body over and over and over again and making sure that you're letting go of anything that wants to clench, because we are a lifetime of patterns. Let's see here, 1 or 2 more breaths. And then press back, 1 more forward fold. Maybe a few more just to get ourselves a little bit more warm. And shake it out. Awesome, everybody. If you feel like being seen, feel free to hit to click on start video, but 0 pressure. I'm gonna step on my riser. So again, if you can raise the floor, then this is a great option. You could be on any sort of sturdy, strong something, or you can go to your stairs if they're nearby and you can still hear me. Okay, so I'm just gonna stand on the edge. It just has to be stable, something that's stable that you can stand on if you're doing so. This works perfectly well on the floor, okay? But I'm on the balls of my feet and I'm lowering below the height of the step and then lifting. So this gives me like this nice stretch. So if you have stairs in your space, this is great to do. It just feels so good. Yesterday I was doing cardio by going up and down my steps, doing lunges on my steps, doing tricep dips on the steps, push-ups. All kinds of things can be done on our steps, okay? Good, so let's just do a few more here, and then I'm gonna go single leg. So again, if you are on the floor, you're just limited in your range of motion in the down phase, but everything else stays the same. You can mix this up by being on a less stable surface, so you don't want it moving around on you all around, but as long as it can stay still, you could be on a disc. We've done that in the community center. I'm gonna go single leg now, keeping my hips level, engaging inner thighs, lowering and lifting. I'm trying to keep my ankles stable. Exhaling, keeping tension out of the neck, out of the shoulders, engaging the core. This should be getting challenging. Couple more. Woo! I can feel, even though I have this here, it's still challenging. Okay, I'm gonna switch as far as the balance goes. So I'm trying to keep my hips level. So engaging obliques to keep the torso centered. I'm trying to go below that height of the step without collapsing the ankles. There's all sorts of things to be challenged by here. My legs were zipped together, but if you had a turnout, that's fine, as long as your joints all match up. Couple more. And then we'll go back to both feet here. Lower and lift. Engage the inseam of your legs, the outer seam. Hug everything in toward your midline for the sake of length. Good, let's do 2 or 3 more. Good, and carefully step off, shake it out. So we'll do just a little bit more calf focused work. If you're, whatever you didn't just do, so if you've already done zipped up parallel, we're now going to go into external rotation. If you've already had a turnout, come into zip, because I don't know that I specified that. So I have now my legs turned out, the heels click together. Again, you could do this on the floor or on a surface, right, a raised surface. And as I lower my heels, stay clicked. As I lift, they come apart. Okay, so a few more. Hug, keep that engagement, hugging in toward the midline. This time, rather than going single leg, we're just going to shorten the range of motion, okay? So I'm gonna come up high and then only go down halfway. So my heels are apart, they click back together. And as you probably already know, no music due to copyright, but you are welcome to put music in your background, especially if that helps you keep more, motivated. Good. So I'm just going, so we're gonna be playing a lot with small range of motion to bigger range of motion. So let's do a couple more here. And then we're gonna go bigger range. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Good. I'm on this step, so I'm less balanced, but you could totally do a balance challenge. Last 2. And carefully release. So we'll be using this potentially elevated surface throughout the class. Okay, so I'm just coming into my calf stretch. You can face your bar, your counter, okay, whatever you're using here, you can turn away from it. And I'm just stretching each calf and hoping that the stretch that's in the leg also informs the rest of the body. So one more breath here. Make sure you feel you've evened out as far as your stretch goes. And we're gonna come into thigh work. So again, I'm gonna do, I think, all of my thigh work just standing on this surface. And when it comes to the thigh work here, it's not like the calf work where we lowered, below the height of the step. It's just, when we change up what's familiar, then we work a little differently. Okay, so you could totally do this on the floor, all right? And just pretend you're on maybe a less solid surface. So you have to work a little bit harder. So my heels are clicked together, toes are turned out, lengthening, but now I'm bending my knees. Okay, so hips, knees, ankles, middle, feet, all in alignment. Hug in toward the midline. Maybe challenge your balance. So we'll start with bigger range. So I'm gonna go down and come up. Never fully straightening my legs. Challenge the depth that's appropriate for your knees, okay? And maybe any other joint that you just know you need to be mindful about. But I'm really pressing my heels into each other. I'm really engaging my abdominals so I can maintain neutral. We're gonna be here a couple more reps, and then we're gonna go into the smaller range. Okay, so one more here. And then the next time we lower, we're gonna stay in this depth and go little up, little down. Make it really precise. Little up, stop, little down, stop. Little up, stop. I'm totally quivering. Little up, stop, down, stop. Good, a few more. 2 more here. And then we're gonna go back to bigger range of motion. Okay, so now we're gonna go big up, big down, big up, big down. We're gonna repeat this cycle one more time. Big up, so again, always be mindful of how you feel in your joints. One more just like this, woo. And then the next time I wanna hold, okay, so I wanna hold low here and go little up, stop, little down, stop, little up, stop, little down, stop, little up. Few more, make sure you're exhaling. Make sure that you have no tension, right? That you don't, that's not gonna serve you well. Okay, so wherever that is for you. 2 more, little up, stop, little down, stop. 1 more. We're gonna finish with a couple big up, big down, big up. Let's do 1 more. Big up, big down, carefully come up. Shake it out, shake it out. Good. Awesome, everybody. Okay, for our next, maybe you'll put something in between your legs. It could be a rolled up towel, could be a ball, it could be nothing, okay? Nothing works. I'm still catching my breath. Again, I'm gonna do this standing on my solid surface. I don't know, because I know at the rec center, we've done this on a disc. So you could be on an unstable kind of thing, as long as it's not moving around you on the floor. Okay, but my legs are parallel now, okay? Lengthen through the spine. Not only am I hugging this, I feel like I'm trying to pull it up, okay? And then bending the knees. So I love having this something to physically reference because it just turns more on. But if I don't have it, I think about having it, okay? All right, so we're gonna do that. Again, bigger range, smaller range, maybe play with the ankle positioning, we'll see. So we're gonna go big up, big down. Try not to tilt your torso forward. It's going to want to. Good, big up, big down. So we're trying to keep our ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles stacked with each other. Good, your heels are at a comfortable height for you. Couple more. 1 more, hold here. Now we're gonna come up stop and lower stop. Up stop, lower stop. Feel free. So your hand could be on something that's helping you maintain stability, or if you wanna check in and challenge your balance, you're welcome to. This should be a nice challenge for your quads. Incorporate those glutes. Incorporate those abs. Let's go bigger range. Big up, big down. Again, check in with yourself. How upright can you maintain the position? Good, a few more. Woo, couple more. Hold your next one, hold. Come into that balance check. Can we go little down stop, little up stop, little down, little up, 3 more, little down. Broad open chest, exhale well. Good, 1 more, and then 2 or 3 big range. Big range up, big range down. Couple more. Oh my goodness, last one. And carefully release, shake it out. You are welcome to use this ball in our next thing, but it will be between the hands rather than between the legs. So just to add a little variety, I'm gonna have my one leg here on the elevated surface. Okay, so if you had just these ideas for future, a step riser Bosu, a disc, I mean, there's just, you could, I thought about like books, but I don't know how many of us want to really step on our books, so I don't know. But you can get creative. All right, so my legs are turned out. I have hips, knees, ankles, middle feet in alignment. And I just want to first just kind of get into the groove and know that as I go down and up, the leg that's on an elevated surface is not going to straighten, okay? Trying to center my torso. Maybe you'll want to add side body engagement by squeezing the ball. So I'm going to do a couple more. On the next one, stay low, okay? And let's do a little down stop, little up stop. And as you stop, you might, if you have a ball, squeeze the ball. Just make sure that it's not irritating to your wrists. So we're as tall with our posture as we can be. Hips, knees, ankles are all fine, right? So we're organized and only going at the pace, the range of motion that works. Okay, on the next one, I'm gonna hold. So we didn't do anything with the ankles in the last couple, so now I'm gonna lift halfway lower. Lift with my outside leg, halfway lower. Lift, halfway lower, couple more. Now your outside leg can keep the heel up, and we're gonna add the inside leg. Up, halfway lower. So I'm not landing that inside heel. Okay, couple more. You can hear it in my voice, I'm working. Both, okay, so both, halfway down. Elevate and half lower. Couple more. Get those glutes. Get the deep abdominals. Hold here, last 5. Maybe squeeze the ball. 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels. Come up. If you're using that elevated tool, we're gonna switch sides. Because you know we gotta be even, or you're just getting a double workout here for the more bang for your buck with this position. So we have that alignment, hip, knee, ankle. Just notice how your body might want to shift to avoid. Center your weight, lower, and just test your position, your range of motion. This is always the best time, I think, to tweak the position. Again, I'm trying to use my obliques to keep my torso centered. 1 or 2 more here. And then we're gonna hold here. Again, make your adjustments. We're going little up stop, little down stop, little up stop. Good. Continue. See if you can engage your body in such a way that you're trying to create space in your ankles, knees, hips, throughout your spine. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Every position is about that. 1 more. Hold, outside leg, heel. Good, halfway down. Up, halfway down. I'm trying to maintain my depth. It's really tempting to come up. So if fatigue is the issue, you gauge it, okay? If there's any sort of warning bell, then definitely decrease your range of motion, okay? Couple more. Hold. Now this leg, okay? Lifting up, half down. Lift up. So what you're doing with this, the first leg is your call, whether that heel stays up or down. Couple more. Woo! Both heels. Up, halfway down. Hug in toward the midline. Good. Let's do 4 more. Up, halfway down. 3, 2, 1. Lower. Come up carefully exit the position, shake it out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out where to put the ball so it doesn't roll away. I'm gonna grab my tubing, and if you want to use dumbbells, I'll give you those alternative ideas. So tubing, bands, actually we'll start, with the tube out in front. We're gonna be focused on the chest. If you want, you could totally do this exercise with dumbbells. You could lay on your mat or on the ground, and we're doing flies. So if you've got a tube or a band, we're just going with our arms out to the sides. The elbows are slightly bent. Try to keep your wrists neutral, okay? Because the hand will want to do stuff. Okay, try to let the hand just go along for the ride. So we're starting in that bigger range of motion, making sure this all feels okay for the shoulders, for your neck. Make sure you're breathing well. Okay, I will stretch a little bit, okay, in a moment. Hold your position. I'm turning around. Retract those shoulder blades. Engage your back, engage your sides. And let's control. Small range of motion. So let's go. Out, stop, and then in a little bit, stop. Out, stop. So you're really in your work zone and interrupting a bit of that flowing movement with a pause. And with that pause, you want to check in that you're contracting the right muscles. Okay, so they're not in your neck. They're in your back, sides, chest, abdominals. Good, let's do a few more. Again, always coming into the wrist awareness. You want your joints to just be conduits. Let's go bigger range. So you're gonna come forward and back out. And forward and back out. Or if you're doing flies on the mat, we're just in the bigger range of motion phase. Okay, we're gonna hold. And now we're gonna do single arm movement. Okay, so one's gonna stay still. You pick, it doesn't matter. And I'm just doing forward stop, back stop. So if you, and interrupt the movement with that little pause, that little hold, and make sure it's not going into your neck, okay, that you're working effectively, appropriately. One more. Let's do a few big range, just to get ourselves a little release. We have these long series of exercises. I know you can always change, you know, the amount of resistance that you've got going. So I'm holding it out. I'm gonna do that other arm forward a little bit and back, and not relying on momentum. I'm trying to not allow momentum to take over. Just 2 or 3 more. You want to feel even. Let's do a few big range. Forward. Woo! Oh my goodness. Last one. And release. Check in. Set the tube to the side just for a moment. Let's open. Whoops. Through the chest. Maybe a forward fold. I just love, I get to see you guys when I'm taking classes, and I love to see the familiar faces. I'm so grateful and proud. You're taking good care of yourselves even through this time. So I hope that you're feeling proud of your dedication to this consistency, right? Check in with the shoulders. Check in with your neck. Okay, so I want to do a little bit bent over. Okay, so again, you can use your chair, you could use your countertop. We're going to just give a little bit of focus to the glutes, but I also want you to think about this position being a little bit of a tricep push-up, if you will. Okay, so I'm hinged, I'm hugging in toward the midline, but I have supported space and length in my spine. So you can easily look left and right. All right, so my feet are close together. I'm going to click the heels. I move this so maybe you'll see better. Clicking the heels together, toes turned out, and taking a As soon as I do that, my body wants to shift. Okay, so I want to stay centered as best as I can without shifting to my standing leg. Hugging in, lengthen, lift your back leg, whatever it is, whichever one you lifted. Okay, now, keeping that going, see if you can click your outer glute on in that lifted leg. I want to bend and extend, bend and extend. Think of this as like you're doing a tricep extension. You know, little bend, extend. Do that with your leg. And try to catch yourself wanting to drift toward, in the direction of your standing leg. Now hold this position. Do a little up. So I have my legs turned out. I'm doing little ups, little ups. Exhale, I'm trying to not pop my ribs. Can you hug your energy in toward your midline? So this is also, make this a little bit, as best you can, about your upper body. So I'm doing little lifts. I'm hoping you're feeling your lifted leg glute. I can almost guarantee you're feeling your standing leg glute. Good, hold the height. Now again, bend and extend. Now what I'd like you to do at this constant height with your lifted leg is you're gonna cross the midline and go out to the side and blend it with the bend and extend. So I'm crossing my midline, bend, extend, going out to the side, bend, extend. So think about growing your lifted leg. Grow your spine. Good. Let's do a few more. I know the standing leg is getting tired. Couple more. Hold your leg at this height. And then see, again, engage your abs and do a little uplifting of the leg against the tuck of your tail, against that abdominal engagement. We're gonna do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Carefully release your leg. Come into a forward fold. Breathe. Breathe and breathe. In between sides, what I'd like us to do, and just because, so I don't have to shift my, camera, it looks like it'll hold it. So you could do push-up plank here at your higher height. You can also do it on your mat. You could also incorporate the step or whatever it is that you might have added to your workout. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my feet, I promise we'll do second leg, okay, in a second, but I'm gonna put my feet on my step and my hands over here. Choose whether you're gonna do a plank or if you feel ready for push-ups, okay, so we can lower and come up. Maybe starting, bigger range, strong legs, strong abdominals, back and sides. I'm gonna hold my next one and do a little down stop and up stop. Down stop, up stop. Couple more. Woo! Can we do a few more big range? You should really feel like your two halves of your body are not the same. One more. Carefully lower your knees. If they were lifted, come into your child's pose or just something that allows you to rest. Without any sense of hurry, return to a standing position. Woo, let yourself catch your breath. Maybe take a sip of water. Please do that throughout the class. Nothing about this looks as though it'll be as intense as it is. Okay, it looks like, you know, we do these small range of motion things and woo, they're a lot, okay? So I'm gonna come back into heels click together, toes turned out. Now I'll be doing my other leg, the one that's lifting. But the thing that I really want to start out with, this solid foundation. I want to think about myself being in that plank push-up position. I'm going to take my other leg back behind. And as soon as I do that, my body wants to shift. So I'm going to bring it back to the center. Lift the leg. It can be flexed or the foot can be pointed or flexed, but I'm going to bend and extend. So these first few, I'm just trying to find my alignment, trying to find my glutes and obliques. Hopefully they're apparent. Hug in toward the midline. Try to feel as though you're not really relying on your countertop table, whatever surface you're holding on to. So I'm bending and extending. And it's like, it's a slight tuck of the tail with every extension. Okay, so zero compromise to the low back. The abs are working, the glutes are working in a major way. This is the focus for the glutes. Okay, hold, little ups. And as you lift the entire leg, it's against the tuck of the tail. Keep noticing, is your torso veering? Can you tell? It's your obliques that are gonna help you center. Good. We're gonna go back to bend and extend. But now what we're gonna do is cross the midline with the leg and go out to the side. Keep your external rotation, keep your turn up of the leg. Cross, bend and extend, out to the side, bend and extend. There's a lot to this. Good, couple more. Woo! Or maybe more than a couple, okay? Let's do one more. In toward the midline or across the midline, out, hold it, out there. Lift against the tuck of your tail. Use your glutes, use your abs to resist. Engage your upper body. Lift against that tuck. It doesn't have to be extreme, right, to be effective. Last 4, 3, 2, careful release. Let's shake it out. Let's do a little bit of stretches. Let's come into figure 4. Breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe. Feel free, okay, to put your leg at a higher height. If this was my ballet bar, right, my leg would be higher. Good, both sides. Try to find that sense of awareness in your sides. Check in with your neck and shoulders. Let's do a quad stretch once you're ready. So we didn't do that earlier. Okay, so standing quad stretch, trying to keep the hips level, engaging the inner thighs. I'm trying to keep my ankle neutral. Good. And then other side. So I'm going to pick up my tube again, and we'll do some different upper body exercises with the tube or with dumbbells. Good, couple more. And release. Check in with your shoulders. So we're going to, if you're using a tube, we'll do some forward raises. If you're using dumbbells, that's what this is. You could step on your tube, but you don't have to step both feet. You know, so I'd like to do some single arm and then switch arms. So again, when you have the tube or a band, you choose the amount of resistance. Okay, so you want to test. What's neat about tubes and bands is that you get constant resistance throughout the range of motion. Where dumbbells, there's a little bit of a gap. Like here, you wouldn't feel much with the dumbbells. So if you're using dumbbells, what I would recommend is shorten your range of motion, okay? So pick the arm you want to start with. Make sure if you're standing on your tube or however you're standing, you're not locking your knees. And then position your arm right in the right way where it doesn't annoy your wrist, ankle, or shoulder. Broad across the collarbones, neck is free. So right now I'm in bigger range of motion. Good. And I don't know if you can see, I go a little bit wider than my shoulder width. Okay, everybody's different, but it just naturally goes out to the side, and that's where it feels good, okay, for my body. So now I'm gonna go up and hold, and I'm gonna go down stop and up stop. Down stop, up stop, and I'm trying not to lean. Okay, so again, those obliques come into the equation. If you can see yourself, or if you can't see yourself, you might be able to feel. How are you distributing your weight across your feet? That'll tell you, okay, if you've shifted. Good. One more. And I'm gonna go big range again. Catch my breath. Don't want to use momentum to lift the arms. I want this constant pace as I go down and as I come up. Woo! So my arm is out in front, but you want to do the right variation for your body. I'm just going to do one more rep. And carefully release. I always like to do something in between sides. You could go into down dog, that could feel good. Breathe and breathe and breathe. You might take your arms back behind you. Maybe check in with how it feels to do any sort of arm circles. One obviously feels more tired, but it also it's like it has more blood flow, I hope. Okay. So it's like you're just more aware of that working arm, right, than the other. We're gonna do the other side. So this is always the tricky, can you find, if you're using a tube or a band, equal resistance. So we're just looking for equal sensation. So I'm trying to find it. Okay, once you're ready, so you've got that strong stance. And you just want to take your arm up and down. Okay, this feels better to me. And the other thing is here, if I need to, at any time in the exercise, I can adjust the tautness, right? So I can adjust the amount of resistance that I'm getting to feel appropriate. So I don't know if you can see it, but I feel like I'm veering just a little bit. So I really want to get that feeling of X marks the spot. Okay, so I'm pointing, drawing my X across my torso. Rib to opposite hip in each side. And the same, so in the front as well as in my back. But again, equal weight across the feet. Let's do one more in this bigger range of motion. And then we're going to do small with that little pause. So up stop, down stop. In your appropriate range. Equal weight across the feet. Nice and open across the collarbones, throughout the neck. The wrist, neutral. I'm going to do one more and go back to bigger range. Lower without the oomph to come up. Woo! Constant speed here, constant rate of movement. It's hard not to do the oomph. It's so tempting. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think we get more bang for our buck with this. I'm gonna do one more. Woo, it's quivering. And carefully release. If you're a counter, make it even, okay, for you. I gave up on that aspect of myself a long time ago. Check in again with your shoulders. Maybe some arm circles again, or forward fold. Okay, so I want to come down. I think everything else that I've got planned is on the mat. So I'm just going to move this down. So it's just easier for me to see whatever I'm showing you. So we're going to be working on the mat, maybe with that step, maybe with the ball. Come closer. Okay, so again, as long as it doesn't annoy your hand, whatever, if you're using this tool or a tool, okay, so I want to do some uneven I'm just putting this aside. Some uneven push-up action. So I've got one hand higher than the other. Okay, again, this is plenty hard without this variation, but you know, we're at least gonna do 2 sets, right? The thing to remember about this, because we are offset, just like when we had, if you had one foot higher than the other, you're never going to straighten the arm that's on this step or the elevated surface, okay? So I wanna hug in toward the midline, come into your plank variation, whether that means the legs are straight or bent. I really wanna feel strong. Center, and I'm going down and up. So only the hand, right, the arm that's off the tool will actually straighten. A few more. Maybe pulse. Again, hug in toward the midline. Keep your neck free. Keep your head in alignment with your spine. Maybe full range again. Woo. Last couple. And recover for a moment before we switch sides or get a second set. Breathe and breathe. So child's pose or puppy dog. My dogs are bringing in grass. So that's what I'm seeing on my mat. Not a typical problem that I usually have on my yoga mat. Good, another breath. So if you're done with, you know, push-ups and such, you can hold a plank. Okay, so I'm just gonna, again, come into my offset position. Those first things that I do, I kind of melt, hug in toward the midline, come into my plank. Okay, then bigger range. Center your body. Try to do your best to keep your head in alignment. Let's pulse. So you're gonna come into your position. Small range if you're moving. We gotta do those full range again. Couple more. And again. Careful release. Oh, that's just a mean tool, right? Okay, child's pose. Or just something that feels that it's a nice in-between or a nice reprieve. Check in again with your neck, your shoulders, your breath. So I want to do some variations on our back for our glutes, and I'm going to use a ball maybe for some, if not all of it. Okay, so I'm putting this back in. It just, you know, where if a tool is good, it can be used in so many ways. But this is one where you could totally use a chair. Okay, so I'm just putting my feet, I'm gonna put my feet on this step, and then I lift and lower in those hip raises. Okay, so you wanna find your right proximity here. Okay, whew. Putting the ball in between the inner thighs, okay? So the neat thing here for me is I can change up the way that my feet are on the surface, and the truth is you could do that with your feet on the floor or on a chair, all right? So I want to squeeze my glutes, engage the inner thighs, pull up the low, deep abs, and lift and lower. Lift, lift. So we're just trying to get those glutes. You're always welcome to add, you could always add more resistance by putting weights across your front hip area. Good. So let's, on the next one, stay up. Go down a little and back up. Down a little, back up. Always, over and over and over again. Check in that your neck and shoulders are okay, that your work is in the appropriate place. So I know the hamstrings are gonna work, but we wanna get the glutes to work more than the hamstrings. Otherwise, the hamstrings are gonna wanna cramp up. Okay, so we wanna keep that area clear. You want to feel strong without feeling undue grippiness. Okay, so we're gonna hold. Now just test the waters. See if it's possible to lift and lower your heels. So we're staying in this. So the test is, can we do this without it being all hamstringed? Appropriately engage your inner thighs. Now, as long as your hamstrings are working effectively, appropriately, not trying to take over, then we can explore. So I'm gonna actually take my ball out. Okay, bring my legs closer together. Try to keep the hips level and taking one leg up, all right? The foot is still on the step, my heel is up, and I'm lowering halfway, coming up. I'm trying to keep equal length in my sides. The lifted leg side, that hip wants to pop up toward my ribs. I'm trying to not let it. The leg that remains on the floor, that knee wants to veer. Can you not let it? Do you even care at this point? Let's do one more. Switch legs. Okay, if you're doing a single leg option. Okay, again, X marks the spot. So we're trying to keep the torso centered. We're trying to have this not be taken over by the calf if the heel is elevated, or by the hamstring, right? We're trying to make sure the glutes are the main and everything else is supported. Good, keep going as long as you can. You've got this, use your exhales. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and carefully lower the leg. Release. Again, take a moment. Maybe it's hugging knees in, massaging your lower back. Woo. Okay, so we're gonna do another variation of those. Aren't you excited? Okay, this time we're in external rotation. So the heels are clicked together, toes are turned out. If your feet are not on the mat, you just need to make sure whatever your feet are on, it's not gonna move on you. Okay, breathe. So my hips, knees, ankles, middle, feet all still match. And I'm gonna tuck the tail and come up. So I'm gonna go halfway down, come back up. So now the glute focus shifts a little bit, right? To those outer glutes, I hope you feel that. And engage your abdominals. Over and over and over, check in with your neck and shoulders so those shoulder blades are retracted. Good, you're going at your pace. Okay, I wanna focus on one side. So I'm gonna focus on my right. I'm gonna lift with all that focus on my right. So the left will stay lifted or go along for the ride, but I'm really focusing on that right side. Again, as quick or as slow as it feels effective for you. Good, let's do 8 more on this side. Exhale well. Good, 4 more. 3, 2. Now focus on your other side. So it's finding that foot to glute connection. Good, all on the other side. So for me, it's my left. Squeeze, squeeze, but I feel my inner thighs. I feel my hamstring, my calf. I feel the glute, most of all, of course. Feel my abs. Good. Let's keep going. Another 6 here. I think we make it even. 4, 3, but we're not done. 2, we gotta go back to both. All the way down, all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. Still always monitoring that ankles, knees, hips feel supported, and we're just engaging those muscles. Feeling fatigued in the muscles, totally fine. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and bring him in. Okay, and any stretches that feel good. I always think there's a great stretch where you take one knee on top of the other and your feet go out to the sides, but you still want to maintain that sense of length in the sides of your waist. And that's what really makes it effective. Effective stretch in the outer glutes. And then switch But again, there's nothing that we should do that should compromise any joint, okay? So we want to over and over and over again be so protective of our joints. Couple more. I switched legs. I don't know if I said that aloud. And then carefully making your way to seated. Again, I'm going to use the ball, but I'm going to put the step to the side. I think I'm going to turn this way just for what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to put the ball first at my sacrum. Oh, feels so supportive. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. I hope you're feeling good, feeling strong, maybe appropriately tired. That's all good. And then checking in with your neck and shoulders. So I'm going to zip my legs together, and I'm going to pretend, okay, that I'm trying not to rely on this support. I'm just going to reference it as I come back and then lighten. And we're going to be shifting the ball as we do this, okay? But for now, I'm just going to keep it in this really supportive spot, all right? And then maybe increase the challenge by bringing your hands behind your head, okay? But my arms are not yanking me forward, okay? I'm just feeling this contraction. I'm going to keep my legs zipped together, bring them a little closer though, and elevate the heels. Make sure this is not in your neck, but your abdominals are quivering. Maybe take one leg up. Try to stay even, level across your sit bones or behind them. I'm going to switch. Now I'm on this ball, and obviously it's not stable, but maybe you can test. All right, and elevate both legs. They're bent, they're straight, okay? But you're just appropriately challenging your body. Last two. And carefully come in. Maybe let the knees go out to the sides. I'm going to take that ball up my body, okay, up my back. Check in again with your neck and shoulders. So now it's around my shoulder blade height. Legs are still zipped together. Hands are, again, where it feels right for you. I'm going to have my hands behind my head, but as I go back, oh man, it feels so good. I hope it feels good. Whatever you're doing, and then contract your abdominals to come up. Try to feel like you're really zipped from the base of your torso up. Your head currently is supported by your hands. Okay, so legs are zipped together, maybe come closer and elevate the heels. Continue and lift one leg. Okay, continue, maybe add the other. Keep going, maybe challenge the positioning of your legs. Maybe they're a little further away from your body. I'm gonna hold the position here. So you can march with your legs or take one and the other. So I'm thinking length to whatever degree you lower, even if your knee stays bent, you wanna think elongate those thigh bones, elongate the lower leg bones. Maybe a little bit of thoracic rotation. So rib toward an opposite knee, rib, not elbows. Slow motion. It's not a big turn, especially if you're on a ball. One more each side. And rest. Woo. I'm going to take the ball out from my upper body. I'm going to leave it available for my lower. Okay, so I think many of you know one of my favorite abdominal exercises is here, where we lift the lower body. Okay, so you could totally do this. I'm putting the ball right now, just in between my legs. Okay, So you could totally do it here, where if you're using a ball, it's here. Or it can be an assist, this lovely assist, to have it underneath your sacrum. Okay, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing with your arms, you want to have your shoulder blades drawn toward each other. So you keep the chest broad and the abdominals, the low abs on, and you lift and lower. Again, trying not to use momentum. Okay, you're coming to whatever height feels effective, feels appropriate. We're targeting the low abdominals without sacrificing anywhere around the neck, anywhere around the low back, or somewhere I don't think to mention. This is where we're going to finish. And then we'll end with some stretches. It's a careful ascent and a deliberate, careful descent. Couple more. Wherever you're at, I want to see if I can see anybody. So good, everyone. Feel free to stay laying down for a moment and just stretch out. I love the use of the pillow. That's awesome. Wonderful. Just stretch your, just elongate. Stretch your arms and legs away from each other. I'm so grateful to have you all here. I'm so grateful that Parker Rec allows us to do this, makes it all available. Good. Stretch your sides. Let your breath start to slow down. If when you feel like it, come to a seated position, and you can bring the soles of your feet together, knees out to the sides. I definitely have the rosy, rosy look post-class, right? So I just have my knees, out to the sides here. Lengthen, maybe hinge forward if that feels good to you. And then the legs can come together out in front, or you're welcome. I like to do both. I'll bring my legs close together in a forward fold, and then out to the sides. Think length, whatever you're doing, make these end of class stretches suit your body, what you're craving. And then return, I had something here I wanted to show and I can't find, to a seated position, come into a side stretch. And the other way. And reach up. And give yourselves a hand. I wanted to show you something. I don't know how well I can do this with the camera, but let's see. Can you guys see what that says? It says, feel hugged. This is an artist I love. I follow her, Buddha Doodles. Her name is Molly Hahn. And I have her, like, her art in every place I can because it's just uplifting. And right now, it's all the more significant in my life. So I hope that you're surrounding yourselves with as many uplifting things as you can to help just strengthen you and strengthen us all. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to chat. I'll go ahead. Let's see if I can unmute. You now have the control to unmute.
I don't know how to leave.
You don't know. It's okay. I'll be closing the class. But you can, there's a bottom right if you, anytime you want to.
I don't know how to message either.
Oh, how to, Bethany, you're so cute. No worries. You know, I swear on the phone, it's more confusing. So everyone, thank you so much. Be well.